sitting out here at my a little training spot, part of it anyway. I found me a spot here, actually my home here. They say whenever you find a practice place, if you can, this is according to some Taoist tradition, if you can, it's best to practice between the water and also the trees. So this is where I like to practice at. Come out here and sit. Actually planted most of these trees out here. These are the banana trees. I like how they give us a little shadow, you know. I can sit out here. Anyway, I come out here and do my meditations at least 3 times per day. This is my second meditation for today, and I was just reading something from Master's book. This is his translation, and actually, I was gonna make a video. I'm gonna make a video. Actually, I'm actually making it now, and the video is gonna be called upward and downward. You know, actually, upward and downward is what we call it in our Tai Chi system. It's one of the postures in Tai Chi, and once I show it to you, you'll see it. It should be, you know, it should be close to something that you do. A variation, if anything. I saw a variation on yesterday, and that's what actually inspired me to share the way that I do it and the way that I was taught to do it, and also to share the internal, what we call the internal form, or the Nei Gong. I'm not sure if most people know what's going on inside the form, inside any of the postures. You know, there's something going on, and I'm going to explain that to you, what's going on inside the form, and how to achieve these things that's going on inside, or that should be going on inside the form. You know, it's a lot, and we'll start today, and once you get an understanding of that, we can go further, even with this very first posture. You know, so I would say that everybody could benefit from looking at this video, just to get another perspective or another view on how the posture is done. I'm not talking about, you know, martial application or anything like that. This is just dealing with the Nei Gong, like I said, the internal mechanisms. So actually, I came out here and sat on the cushion, and I opened the book randomly. That's what I do. I opened it to page 19. At page 19, it talks about how to cultivate Qi. And it talks about without correct training, or at least a full and clear understanding of the concept of Qi, the true meaning of Tai Chi will be lost. And he talks about how to actually cultivate the Qi. And that's really not the intention of this video, not to teach anyone how to cultivate Qi. We can talk about that later. There is a way to do it. I just wanted to talk about what's going on inside the form for those who have already actually learned how to cultivate the Qi. So Master says everyone possesses Qi and has possessed it since birth. Qi remains with the individual throughout life, dispersing only after death. There are 2 main steps. Did the video keep going? Yeah. So there are 2 main steps involved in cultivating Qi within your body. So he says there's 2 main steps involved in cultivating Qi within your body. So when I say your, I'm talking about our. So we're all the same. He mentions the 2 methods here. One, meditation, and the second one being movement. All right, and I actually made a short video that introduced a method, a meditation method that's called counting the breath. You can find that on my YouTube channel. You can also yeah, you can find that on my YouTube channel for sure. So go there and actually subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can do it after watching this video here. And we'll talk about a simple method of meditation. You know, so once you've meditated, he says, in Tai Chi practice, meditation is the only way to become aware of one's chi. Okay, so we focus on several different ways of practicing meditation. We do what we call the moving meditation, which actually brings in our Tai Chi form. And I'm going to explain some of that in the first posture of the form that we call upward and downward form. Some people call it beginning, you know, beginning of the form. It's the one when the posture, it's the one when the arms start to like float up in the air. It's a lot more going on other than the arms just floating up in the air. I'm going to go over that with you. So here he talks about Tai Chi meditative movement. So meditation and Tai Chi meditative movement. All right. So that's our Tai Chi practice. We focus more on Tai Chi meditative movement more than anything. All right. And then there's within the movement, we do a particular type of breathing practice, and it's known as condensing breath breathing. All right. And I wouldn't advise you to start this type of breathing without actually the guidance of a teacher. Okay. You can hurt yourself. With all of these internal practices, you can actually hurt yourself. All right, so here's a diagram. The diagram here, where he talks about some very important points on the body. You see the crown point there. He talks about breathing, the dantian, the diaphragm, the navel, the spinal cord. You know, pay attention to the back part here, spine, inside that pathway, going down. You know, that inside pathway. In the Western world, we know it as being what, the alimentary canal. You know, the alimentary canal, dealing with the digestive system. All right. What do they call it in the Chinese medicine? Central channel. So all of these things are very relevant and very important in your Tai Chi practice, if you're wanting to you know, dive into the internal work and how to activate those different things. All right, so Tai Chi meditative movement, the condensing breath breathing, and he says that's the process that actually turns the chi into Jing. So we're talking about the real Jing, the real Fa Jing, you know, and there's so many different types of Jing. All right, so let's not get stuck on the Jing, all right, or the Fa Jing, because there's so many different ones, and if you get caught just on that one, you'll be chasing that, and there's so many other things that are relevant other than just that. So don't get stuck on that. And then here he goes on to talk about how to do the condensing breath practice. I'm not going to go over that right now, but definitely believe that all of this stuff that he's talking about here, he's talking about generating Jing from Chi. Like I said, best believe all of this stuff will be offered on my website, seafoodlester.com. Go ahead and actually go over to the website. Also put the link in, seafoodlester.com, because I'm going to go over all of this stuff. But there's a process, and we have to build a relationship to make sure that you're doing things correctly and that you don't injure yourself, number one. Because like I said, actually I'm going to have one of my students give you all a nice little interview in regards to actually what happened to him before when he was doing things inappropriately, not under my guidance, and he got injured. He got really, really injured. So these things are nothing to play around with. But anyway, what I'm going to introduce to you today is very basic and safe practice. So let's do that now. So hold on one second. Let me get this tripod set up. So this is what I said was Tai Chi posture known as upward and downward. So listen to the narrative that I give you. There's so much going on inside this posture. Inside, I'm talking about the inside form. Not just the outside, upward arms just going up and down in the air. Let me put this back more. Let's try. Let's put it here. There you can see. So here I am now. I'm assuming that you know how to stand in the correct posture, as if you do this parallel stance facing forward, getting ready to start your Tai Chi practice, getting your form. Okay. So we begin here. And I'll go over the details. So as I said before, we break each posture into 6 pieces. We call it 8 forms and 6 components, meaning that we'll eventually discuss 8 different postures, and each of those postures we will dissect into 6 segments to make sure that each posture is complete. And then we'll actually unite the 6 different pieces all together and make each posture one posture. And then once we make each posture individual postures, we add all of the postures together, and that's when we make the long form. Alright? So that was the beginning. We call it upward and downward. So here we are. First thing I'm going to do here is there's a sinking. So whenever there's a sinking, the tailbone is pulling down. Crown point is extending up. Alright? Not just the crown point. Actually, I like to think of, conceptualize the whole sky. The whole sky, everything above me is extended up, because it really is. Tailbone, visualize as being a third leg, extending down. Not only to the surface, but below the surface of the ground. Okay? So there's a downward motion first. So first it's down. Then the posture begins. 1 is out. As I go out, my whole body shifts or gradually floats to the front of my feet. So there's a shifting forward, and there'll soon be a shifting backwards. So the whole body moves. So there's no stagnation in the body. The body is moving. Also, I notice some people, when the arms go forward, their body goes backwards. I'm not saying which one is right or which one correct. I'm just telling you which one worked for me. And this is one of the things I would like for you to investigate. We're going forward or backwards, you know. So as I say, our whole body moves forward. So it's not just our arms. Everything is moving forward here. My whole being is moving forward. And I can feel that shift. We'll talk about the breath later. The arms now, that was 1, going out. 2, not only are the arms coming up, but my whole body floats up. So my knees are never completely bent, but they started out where they were bent, and now they actually they straighten out, all right, or they extend, but don't lock out the knees ever. All right, so there's an upward movement. That's 2. 3, fingertips actually extend to the horizon and actually beyond the horizon. So you see what's going on? So you extend beyond the horizon. That was 3. 4. The wrist slightly rise up. They slightly rise up by me slightly putting my body in motion to start to shift back. So the wrists are leading back. They come all the way back to this point. They point up to the sky. My fingertips point up to the sky. So that's another variation that I noticed. Some people stop with their hands up here before they come all the way back. Ours come all the way back. Notice that the elbows are not down. If I put the elbows down, we're going to pinch the back, my trapezius muscles are squeezed together. So I want to open, so the elbows go down and out, which opens my shoulder blades, opens my scapula. Sink the chin, everything opens. Now I sink down. That's 6. Let it go. So 1, out. 2, it's up. 3, extend the fingertips to the horizon and beyond. 4, wrist pull back. 5, fingertips point to the sky. Literally, they extend to the sky. So these are things you have to do consciously. You take your sense of feeling there. So talking about internal, the things that you can't see. So this is where imagination comes into play. Now there's sinking. 6, release, let go, let go. Any tension you have in your body, let it go. Repeat this practice. Repeat this practice a lot. So just one posture should be done repetitively. You can't overdo it. You see how many pieces of information that I just gave you? Just in that. So I hope you digest some of that. There's some things going on inside the body. Your arms go out here, huh? Inhale. So as we inhale, there's a space for men that's located between the anus and the penis, known as the perineum. For women, it's located between the vagina and the anus. Same name, same location, perineum. So when you inhale, perineum, you have to actually contract, the sphincter. So that's the end of the alimentary canal. That's one of the sphincters that we learn to activate in the internal practice. That's one. We also have, sorry, something keeps falling out of the tree here, biting caterpillar or something. It's 3 different ones, so we start there first. So with that breath and with all the other things that I taught you, you focus on just that. Volume 2, or actually video 2 of, we'll call this one, what do we say? Condensing the chi. We'll call the next one volume 2, condensing the chi. So work on this first sphincter. So a sphincter is basically an oval. You know, there's different oval shapes in our body, and they're located in sections that actually allow things to pass through, either pass through or not pass through. You know, so they open and close like this, right? So we learn to control these mechanisms more, and we start building up the internal body. But like I said, we have to start there first, and then we go from there. So start working on your upward and downward movement, and actually incorporate these things. Play with what I just offered you. Play with it, and this is a lot more in there that I'm going to give you as we go along the way. But you have to start somewhere first. All right. Remember all the points that I told you about. All right. I'm not sure if you're familiar with one of my videos. Most of you probably aren't. I'm thinking about the newer students. The one that I made with the diagram going around the foot, you know, making the figure 8, you know, and as you move forward in the backward motion, you know, the significance of that, you know, and what's going on inside. We're talking about building up the internal form. So it doesn't matter what Tai Chi form that you practice, or what style, or what system, or whatever you're doing. The things that I'm going to share with you, or the things that I have been sharing with you all, some of you are new, these things are relevant to, they're just relevant to the practice in regards to the practice, in regards to Tai Chi. All right? Anyway, I'm going to tune out from here, and we're going to do a follow-up video on this. I'm putting out video after video. This is upward and downward. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and also, like I said, go to my personal website. Going to have offered there different types of lessons, you know, direct instruction on how to actually work on very specific things, and you can sign up and register. Go ahead and go to seafoodlester.com. seafoodlester.com. Peace.